Hello and welcome to Modern Toy Fair. I am your host, Mr. Modern Toy Fair, and I am joined by the founder of the NEC Illuminati, the delayer of shipments, the YouTube wife, Mrs. Modern Toy Fair, Jarmar _games. But that's not all. I'm also joined by the man Modern Toy Fair has full custody over. The man Optimus Prime popped and he refuses to stop. The Twilight Knight, the master of mech, the three pump chumps of taking this show off the rails. Nate, how are you guys doing this week?
I am pretty good. Wonderful. The only problem is I'm wearing the same shirt that I wore last week, and it's starting to.
I mean, we've all been wearing the same shirt for the past 2 weeks. It's getting a little smelly in here, so it's
getting rough.
It's smelling like a Smash Bros tournament.
Yes. Why are we here?
So
why are you bringing us together?
Ironically, this is going to be the episode that airs first, so we're going to be talking about how smelly we are 2 weeks in advance.
I will be. I was like, this seems kind of timely.
Yeah.
We shouldn't wait 3 weeks for this.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of thinking. So, keeping in mind
off the
rails already, and we're not even 3 pumps in. Keeping in mind we record on Wednesday nights. This is the Wednesday before Comic-Con begins.
Technically preview night.
Yeah, technically preview night.
It's already begun.
So all of the lovely vendors and toy manufacturers are setting up their booths for everyone to see, and some pictures have made their way onto the internet. Specifically, something that was kind of brought to Nate's attention that I saw in passing and didn't think twice about, but it was something near and dear to him, and that is apparently there will be a new Mattel MOTU Eternia playset, which is a reproduction of the original one. So let me bring that up here, and then Nate, I'm going to let you take it from here since you have the most connection to this.
Yes. So for anyone who has watched the channel for any significant amount of time or would check us out at Twitch, over at twitch.com/modern toy fair, 10 p.m. Eastern. .tv. I tried.
You were close.
At 10 p.m. on Wednesdays, just not right now because we're not doing it.
August.
We'll be back end August.
Yeah.
But I have teased for I don't know, like 7 to 8 months that I bought a Grail item. And I guess I should just reveal it now because I was waiting to get extra parts and things like that. But it was the Eternia playset. I got an original Mattel Masters of the Universe Eternia playset. Literally, I have only seen like 2 or 3 in my lifetime, one of which is now over on the other side of my basement. Ironically, will probably be set up in my backdrop by the time we return because my whole background is going to be changing. It's going to be very cool. It's going to be very cool. Yeah, yours probably should. Mine, I'm doing to just, punch things up. You're changing. I'm changing. Next thing you know, Jamar's going to come on. He's going to be Spanish. I don't know.
No, I'm going to move Mutagen Man. I'm going to move him from this side to that side.
Right. Awesome.
There you go. I dig it.
So I have very mixed feelings about this. And it totally, like, on one, it's not what you would think. Like, I just got this a while ago. Not just, but I got it a while ago. But I got it, for the first time in, it came out in 1987. I didn't have it for 35 years. It is kind of an exclusive club to be in, to own one. There's not that many of them still in existence, but that's not really it for me. It's that I spent, a lot of money on it, and I got a fantastic deal on it. I basically got it for half, if not more, than what the market value was going for at the time.
Okay.
So I did get a tremendous deal on it. So, but the other part of me is like kind of bummed, like it's coming out for Origins because I never thought it would come out and people would be like, "Oh, I'm going to get an Eternia for Origins," and people would be like, "Shut your mouth! You're never going to get that." And now they might get it. More of a bummer for me though is the fact that I know I'm going to end up getting this new one in whatever capacity it takes, and I'll start talking about that here in a second. So the other part of it that bums me out is the amount of space, because this thing is not small. So like the center tower, I can't even, like, it's a good 3 feet 2.5 to 3 feet
I
tall.
mean, it looks big, but in the picture, it's kind of
it's
hard
large.
to tell based off of the
Right.
size compared to the
Well,
characters. 'Cause there's so much going
yeah.
on in the pictures.
I am assuming that this version will be similar in size because the Castle Grayskull that they released for Origins was similar in size, although different. So I assume this one is going to be different in that capacity as well. I am a Masters of the Universe vintage collector, so of course I'm going to keep this. But I also am going to get this new one too. But I've already seen reactions online that people think it's going to come to retail, and I'm sorry, but you're a moron if you think this is coming to retail. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I think Castle Grayskull pushed the limits of what toy companies can put out for that kind of item anymore. I think they tested it. It was a nice price point. It was around $70 to $80. And a lot of stores, though, didn't carry it for long. Target relegated it to a weird section. Over, like, in some stores they had like their Power Wheels or their that kind of area. So they were over there. Most people didn't even know they had them. And then definitely your average shopper that wasn't looking for them, they never saw it. Walmart clearanced them out relatively quickly if they got them at all. Some stores never got them. So this item is not coming to retail. It will not. And my assumption at this point is this is going to be one of Mattel Creations. I hate to use the word crowdfunding because, I mean, I guess that is what it is.
It shouldn't be because these are fucking multi-million-dollar companies. They don't need crowdfunding.
Like,
yeah, I feel like more than anything, it's just a minimum pre-order.
Yeah,
is really what it is. You know, they're agreeing to make this if they can hit a certain pre-order number, because some people may not know this and some people may just blame toy companies or whatever, but there is a cost involved when it comes to like setting things up for a factory on how many are produced. The more that you produce, the cost will lessen as those, multiple orders are done. The smaller batches are more expensive. So this is going to be something that they know is going to be expensive to produce. It's going to be expensive to do everything with. So they're going to need to get a certain number of pre-orders. I don't know, Michael, if you remember when Mattel Creations did the wrestling ring.
Yeah, last year.
How expensive that was.
That was, I think it was $250. And you got
$250.
Initially you got the ring and the entrance, light up entrance stage, and then the stretch goals. You got a Ultimate Edition Diesel, a Ultimate Edition Doink the Clown, and then they also did an Ultimate Edition Macho Man Randy Savage that came with the announce table.
Very cool.
And they also did different ring aprons as well.
Very cool. So that was $250 for a ring and a bunch of cool stuff. I actually thought that was a pretty neat program. I'm not into wrestling, but I liked what you got for what you paid. But a wrestling ring is, I don't know, what do you think? Like 15 inches by 15?
Though because it's supposed to be a real scale one, so it's supposed to be in scale with the figures. Those ones usually are closer to between 22 and 24 inches.
Okay. Yeah, still pretty big. This is going to be a bit bigger. So this is going to have 3 towers, the central tower being the main Eternia tower with the lion face is like I say, it is very large. It also comes with 2 other towers. It comes with the Snake Mountain Tower, the Grayskull Tower. It comes with a connection bridge and different pieces like that. It's going to come with the monorail track with all the holders. It's also going to have the actual monorail thing itself, the guns, the accessories. My prediction with the way things are currently, that this is going to be a minimum $500. I just don't see it being any less. So,
That's definitely fair.
I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility because, like I said, current market for a loose, complete Eternia is probably somewhere in the $2,500 to $3,000 range.
That hurts.
Yeah. So for many people, this is going to be the only opportunity that they have. And to be honest, if it had been announced before I bought mine, I don't know that I would have plopped down as much as I did, even though, again, I didn't pay, nearly that much for it. But
Right.
you know, I do want that castle. I want that setup. It's an amazing piece.
Mhm.
I don't really collect Origins so much anymore. But if this is a crowd-funded item or a minimum pre-order item, this is one of those items where I don't want to, in 2 years, be like, I really wish I would have bought that. And so I also feel like it's going to come, like if they did like the Castle Grayskull, an amazing new artwork box that would be really cool to display, that kind of pays homage to that original box, but not exactly. You know, most of these Origins items have been similar, but not exactly. And there's a lot of great figures that they can include in this for stretch goals and really make it worth it. So I'll be curious to see what details come out over the next couple of days, or we may not hear anything at all. I'm already seeing, though, that Mattel is showing off a lot of cool things. Like, for instance, New Adventures He-Man is being folded into both Masterverse and Origins, which is pretty awesome. So they are really moving forward with, Masters as a property and really playing with a lot of stuff. So this is exciting to see. It's exciting to be a Masters fan who's been kind of, dicked around over, the last 40 years. So, it's pretty interesting.
What I want to know, because this specifically is for like Origins, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms that I can understand, is this similar, not quite the same, but similar to the G.I. Joe side of things, or Black Series? We have like the vintage, and then you have Black Series, or like is this like your original is like the vintage version, right? Mm-hmm. And then the Origins is basically just remakes of the originals. Okay.
Yeah, as the packaging states,
same scale and everything.
Vintage style, modern posing.
Okay.
So like the Origins
articulation.
Okay, I assume that's what it was. I know you shown different ones and stuff. So those are, because the other thing is the like new show. That's the
right.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the name of it right now, but this is not connected to that.
It's not. But the interesting thing is, this particular playset did make an appearance in Masterverse. Or not Masterverse, but I mean in Revelations. So it definitely could, have some carryover with that. No, it's not in scale with Masterverse, but
yeah,
I'll probably set my Masterverse stuff up around it. Like, to be honest, because I don't have a Masterverse Castle Grayskull, and this would be cool to set up and have Masterverse figures around it. It's not going to be in the same scale, but who cares?
Right.
So
I was just kind of like more so clarifying in that, like, this is a good opportunity for people who maybe collect vintage versions of Masterverse. But okay, that's what I was just trying to make.
Yeah,
okay.
Because if I didn't have the vintage one, I absolutely would be buying this to put with my vintage figures.
Okay. You can go ahead, Mike.
So I have two questions. The first one, can you explain what this Eternia playset's supposed to represent? Because to me, from the outside looking in, this looks like Six Flags for He-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the ultimate battleground castle. So it's supposed to represent, Eternia in its light and dark. So you have the central tower, which is a whole new thing. It has the lion face. There's arms that can grab. The mouth opens. That's like the jaw bridge. And then they don't really do a great job they don't show any pictures on the inside. But once you go in that part, there's multi-levels in there. There's a gunning station. There's like a science area. And then the other two towers represent the other two areas, on Eternia, Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. So it's the Snake Mountain Tower and the Grayskull Tower. They look similar to those older playsets, but they're definitely part of the Eternia playset. And then it has that, that cool monorail system that goes around it. So it's supposed to be this ancient castle that represents the different aspects of Eternia.
Okay, kind of almost like a United Nations like embassy type thing.
That's a perfect example of it.
Okay, that's good to know. Because I'm looking at this, I'm like, I see a monorail, I see this snake thing with some chains. It looks like it's gonna swing people around. I see a tower with a rocket ship on it, and I'm just like, that looks like a roller coaster. So I was just like very confused, like what the purpose of this was.
The purpose is to play and have an awesome time. because
That's fair.
it's a great toy, but not too many kids got one because they were expensive, and then the line was over. So
So my second question then is, if this, assuming this isn't just, Mattel putting something out as just a pic, like a display, and they do intend on making this, and they do the crowdfunded route, do you think, given their history, Super 7 will follow suit and do a Ultimates version?
no, because Super 7 has no rights to Masters anymore.
Oh, okay. Because I knew they did
Yeah.
was it Snake Mountain?
Snake Mountain,
Yeah.
the classics version. That was technically their last release for the Masters line. Yeah, and Mattel was like, we're gonna do some shit, so you can't do that no more. That's basically what happened.
Which is impressive, because you'd think, given the price difference, like they wouldn't see that as competition. If anything, it would give them more, access to sales, because people who don't want to spend $50 on a figure might spend $25 on a figure.
That makes sense to us now in seeing what Super 7 is doing with Hasbro and their properties.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Mattel was thinking that way when they did that a few years ago. Because I think you're absolutely right. They could have kept going with that high-end $50 to $55 per figure, line, while Mattel made Masterverse and Origins. But they wanted to be, I don't want to say greedy. It's their property. They own it.
Yeah.
They wanted to be the sole rights holder on that, which I think is a mistake. But ultimately, at the same time, we really haven't seen those Super 7 Hasbro figures release yet, so it'll be interesting to see how that affects things.
Yeah, I do feel like those are coming close, though, because they have a exclusive that's like in stock this year.
Yeah, and they're showing they have actual like real versions of the G.I. Joe Wave 1 at San Diego right now.
Okay, so yeah, then those gotta be shipping soon, I imagine. Cool.
So when do you? I guess you kind of gave us the same thing. So you think it's gonna be $500? It's gonna be a backer. How long until we see this?
At least a year, but I would say probably
it'd be a year.
Fall of 2023.
Because the Mattel Creations ring, they just did an unboxing video and announced that it's gonna be shipping here next month. So.
It's the one that you and another person were talking about. Well, I guess he's friend of the show, Jason.
Jason was on Toy Therapy. Like you.
Right. I know. That's why I said friend of the show. Friend of the show. Okay.
If you remember him.
Yeah, if you remember him. Nate did not.
Yep.
It's okay because it was.
No. How horrible.
I still imagine that conversation between the two of you as just two old men who don't remember each other talking.
Yeah.
About someone that they
exactly
know.
What it was. Yeah. You know Michael? Yeah, I know Michael.
Oh.
You know Jarmar? Yeah, I know Jarmar. Cool. Yeah, they're good
You?
friends of mine. Yeah, I like them.
Except for it turned that one asshole's terrible to work with.
Well, there's that.
Well, I mean, anyone talking about you, it's
you don't know. You never worked with me.
I was just about to say I never even worked with you, and I still tell people that.
God, I hate you. All right. So yeah, so we think this is going to be, well, I guess really no, this is going to probably be a Mattel Creations, because retail, especially today's landscape for retail, there's no way. With lines like Marvel Legends getting shrunk down in Targets and, rising costs, I would be absolutely stunned if this ended up in a retail shelf somewhere. It'd be like, that would be some next level fucking surprise.
I will cut off my testicles, put them in a jar next to Michael's, if that happens.
All right. Well, you heard it here first.
Well, that's
a bold.
It's gonna be announced that it's $200.
Watch, it's already been announced.
Right, we're doing this. They probably announced it on Twitter. $200 will be at Target this December.
Oh snap! They just announced Shadow Weaver. They're showing off Frosta, Pig Guy. Oh, who's this?
Oh, is
that Evelyn?
Oh, okay. These are MOTU characters. I was like, I
yeah,
don't know.
because that was like Battle Freezer.
This is gonna be expensive.
Like they come with it?
No.
Oh.
No, these are all Masterverse stuff that's being.
Oh, okay.
Which is not the The one that we just said is that Revelations is the new one.
Right.
Yeah, Revelations is the new one. Yeah, I don't have, apparently Paternia, or Preternia is not posting a bunch about it because I don't have any notifications from him. But,
Oh, dude, you find my confusion interesting. Eternia, Preternia.
mhm.
I thought you guys were just talking about the thing. That's a person.
Yeah, they have a YouTube channel, I believe, but primarily I follow them on Twitter because literally all day it's nothing but any announcement that comes out, if something goes on sale, if something comes back in stock that's like well sought after, he's on it. It's up there. That's how I got my T-Rex, was because he posted the Big Bad Toy Store, got it up, and I have notifications turned on, so I happened to see it on my phone at the right time. That's also how I found out that tomorrow is going to be a miserable experience of trying to get a Retro Wave Lizard and Spider-Man, but hey.
Good luck.
Yeah. Well,
Next.
you know what? Another friend of the show, the BFC, said he's going to try to help me out. So fingers crossed.
That would be cool. That would be very cool.
So
I could try too. I mean, I'll try my hardest.
I appreciate it. I just figured you were probably busy.
I am. I mean nothing by actually offering my help.
Oh,
Sorry.
Okay. So you're giving me hollow.
Not hollow. I just said I would try.
I'll tries when you're like.
I just want you to know I'm here for you.
You'll try emotionally to support me in my
there
my
you go.
woes.
That is about it.
All right. Any final thoughts about the Eternia playset before we close it out?
No, I mean, I like to say I'm excited for you, Nate. So you can spend a lot of money. And
I'd
have
like to
things
say
you
I'm
like.
excited too. It's so close to me getting the original where I'm just like a little bit like, ugh.
It does hurt, doesn't it?
It does deflate the excitement a little bit, like just because I finally got it and it's like, so cool. But
I will say
I could have got this one.
I feel like because with Mofex, they keep reissuing figures and fixing problems with them.
Mm-hmm.
At first, it hurts because you're just like, oh, I just spent aftermarket on this motherfucker, and even if I got a good deal, it's still coming out for a fraction of what I paid. But then you get it, and it's just like, okay, this is a little nicer than the one I have. But in your situation, you're going to keep both, so I don't think it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, the nicer thing is I won't have to like hold my breath every time I walk by it just because I'm afraid something will happen to it, or like if something happens to this one, yeah, it's a bummer, but like it'll probably be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this thing is just like, just don't breathe on it. Like, it's 35 years old. Like, don't touch it.
I'm just imagining, you walking past it with your box of mac and cheese, and all of a sudden it just crumbles into to dust.
Well, because literally the monorail tracks, I had to buy replacement tracks for those because the original ones will crumble.
Oh wow.
Oh, just because of
Yep.
It's never cool, but
Yep.
I mean, I guess it's 35 years old, so that's fair.
I didn't expect it to live this long. So
explains why there's so few of them, in circulation on the eBay.
Yeah. Well, plus they're a major bitch to ship.
Oh, it's
huge.
I can only imagine. Like, I'm just sitting here thinking about, like, the Batcave comes apart, and I'm still dreading shipping that, just because how massive it is, and I remember how much it cost me to get it shipped to me. All right, well, that's gonna be it for this week's episode. As always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Modern Toy Fair. You can go and check us out live later in August, Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Time for Wednesday Night OnlyFigs, where we go over our weekly purchases. As always, make sure to go and check out Jarmar_games on Twitch. You can also go and check out his podcast, Why Are You a Gamer, on all major podcast platforms, where he talks to people throughout the gaming industry and finds out why they love video games. Nate, what do you have for us this week?
I have sorrow. No, I have nothing. It's all good. My only question for you, though, like, are you gonna like try to have to smuggle that Sentinel home?
I mean, I'm just gonna get a car seat.
Are you gonna get a car seat?
Yeah, he'll sit next to me the entire way.
Oh, you're gonna drive? Yeah, I guess that would make more sense.
Yeah, it's easy. It's cheaper than having my car delivered to me. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how much it costs to ship him. He'll either sit in my lap or he can cuddle me at the hotels
Bro,
on my way back.
just make sure you get consent from Sentinel. Consensual.
Consensual Sentinel.
There's a podcast.
There's a podcast, Consensual Sentinel, where we discuss the Sentinel and his tentacles. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you next week. Same toy time, same toy fair channel. Thank you for watching.
I promise we'll be wearing the same thing.